It was the surprise of the day when the 49ers came out for the second half against the Seahawks yesterday, Mike. It was Trey Lance. And the first thought was that Jimmy G had gotten benched because the 49ers weren't great offensively in the first half, and then the 49ers announced that there was a calf injury, that Garoppolo's return was questionable, but it never seemed like much of a question. They weren't working on him. He was just sitting there on the bench with his baseball cap on. He wasn't coming back in that game, so they got a chance to see what Trey Lance can do. He had 2 touchdowns, 9 for 18, 157 yards. But, I felt like, Mike, that the preseason, Kyle Shanahan was dabbling with the idea, and more than dabbling, he seemed to be serious about a 2-quarterback system. After week 1, he really pulled back from that, and I think he decided, you know what, locker room's still behind Jimmy G. I got to ride with Jimmy G. Trey Lance isn't ready. So, hey, we've seen Jimmy G get injured in the past. We'll just keep going with Jimmy until he gets injured, and then we'll go with Trey. And that's apparently what they're going to have to do for at least a game. They got the Cardinals this weekend. They got a bye coming up, I think, after that. So get the kid ready, and let's see if they made the right decision giving up all those draft picks to go get him.
Well, and I agree with Kyle Shanahan. I'd have played Jimmy Garoppolo. I've spoken about this a ton before the season even started. This is a playoff team. And I'm not starting my playoff team with a rookie quarterback when I have a veteran who's got a heck of a winning record. Not a great quarterback. I get it. I understand that he's basically a placeholder until Trey Lance they feel is going to be ready, but a guy I still would have started. Unfortunately, also a guy that has, the reputation now of getting nicked, and he got nicked again. So here's the issue, Mike. You just mentioned they have the Cardinals. Understand when you're getting ready for a team, the starter gets all the reps. The game plan can be built around that starter is in with the coordinator, in with the coaches. What do I like doing best? It kind of fits that person. So what's the decision here? How bad is Jimmy G hurt? How do you go through practice? Is it Jimmy G day to day, but he's going to be the starter? So Trey is doing backup things. It's still built around what Jimmy can do, because with Trey, you can obviously open it up a little more if you feel comfortable opening things up more with Trey. So that to me is the thing going forward, especially this week, because you're playing the last undefeated team in the NFC and the Cardinals, who are putting a lot of points on the board. Who's going to get the reps? How are you going to build that game plan with these two different quarterbacks, especially if you don't know where you are with that calf and Garoppolo at this point? And obviously they know way more than we do, getting the results of the MRI and what you can possibly do this week.
And I think Garoppolo also said, we didn't play it, but he made a comment along the lines of hopefully it's only a week or two or something like that he'll miss, which would imply it is going to be Lance this week. And then it gets interesting because, Mike, this is an opportunity for Lance to win over that locker room. You hit the nail on the head. The idea that you've got a Super Bowl-ready team, these guys aren't going to embrace starting from scratch at quarterback. We just went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo 2 years ago. This is our guy until we change our minds. You're not going to change our mind, Kyle Shanahan, or anyone else in the front office. We'll change our minds. This is the opportunity for Lance to come in and do the things that could cause the locker room to say, hey, you know what, coming out of the bye, we got a whole – let's assume no Jimmy this week, and then after that it's TBD. This is Lance's opportunity to prove against the last unbeaten team in the conference that he can get it done. And if he can get it done, then you got the bye week. You got the Colts and the Bears on the back end, a couple of potential confidence builder games before your rematch with the Cardinals. It's, this if Lance steps up, this could be his opportunity to supplant Jimmy G, just like Colin Kaepernick once did when Alex Smith missed a game or two with a concussion. This is the chance for the young guy to step up and show what he can do.
Listen, we all know Trey Lance is eventually going to be that guy. We all know that Justin Fields is eventually going to be that guy, the guys who didn't start. It's just a matter of when and what circumstance puts him in there. We've seen Justin Fields play now a couple of times because Dalton has been out, and Fields certainly looked better in this last game than he did in the game before. And the Bears get a win. Now, they're certainly not, when you sit in there talk about playoff teams, you don't talk about them as highly as you do at San Francisco of where they are. The best thing, Mike, that could happen for San Francisco, if Jimmy G is going to be kind of a questionable thing all week, is to know that he's out now. And by, you just said him saying a week or two, if you know that, that means right now, starting today, Trey Lance gets everything. Trey Lance is in on the game plan. Trey Lance gets every rep. Trey Lance gets talked to with the coaches in film sessions all the time. Let it be all Trey Lance all the time for this start. If he is going to play this week and start, that's the best thing that could happen. Is we're not going, well, Jimmy's day to day, we're not sure, and they're going back and forth in practice on who's going to play. If it's going to be that way and Jimmy's going to be out, man, get Trey everything right from the start of today.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.